Silent night, holy night, all is calm, all is bright. Round up the virgins, throw them in the volcano. That's how the song originally went, apparently. All right, who we got here? Connor's in, and Big Green, and Time Fragment, and Red Wolf, and Herney. Red Wolf says my holiday plans yanking it alone. Nothing wrong with that. Hey, some of the best times in the world are yanking it and alone, and sometimes all together. Brandon's here. Hi, Morgan. And Jeff's in. Excuse me. Yeah, the Ohio State-Michigan game, Connor. That surprised me. Not that Michigan won, that they trounced them like that late. You got a notification, Chrome? Susan sends her apologies. She shouldn't mean to. Nolan says, eat myself into multiple comas and binge Gurren Lagann again. That was a good show. Wasn't that the first anime that really, excuse me, I believe the first one I watched that touched on, the mecha aspects at all. And Herney's going to be spending time at home with family. Oh yeah, take a break from college. Yeah, we just came through, we just got done with that because this is the first Christmas in the last 5, of course. That's best because wasn't in college. And, I'll actually get to see, I haven't gotten to see Brax since July. And I'll be seeing him over the holidays because we're going to, all our family's still in New York. So we're going to run up there for a few days just to celebrate Christmas with everybody. Crone says, oh, what good powers of prediction and foresight. Susan just emailed me as well. She said some pretty naughty things about you. I'll bet she did. Morgan says, I always have 2 Christmases every year, so that'll be fun. And of course, slack off for the week between Christmas and New Year since no one cares anyway. Truth. Yeah, and ain't nobody giving their 100% in that week between Christmas and New Year's. And Zakia, did I say that right? Zakia says having a secret Santa party for Christmas. Oh, that's cool. Bought my dad a bong he had been wanting. Nice. At Brax's work, they're doing a secret Santa thing. He was just telling me. He works for an AT&T store. Wow, cool. Dawson says, my parents are taking us to Aruba for Christmas this year for a change. That's really cool. That's awesome. And Jill says, I have plans to go for 3 Christmas parties and not sure if I want to go. Why? Sounds like fun. I'm not a big party person. I'll go. Parties are not, they're not like my go-to. It's not something I look for. But, I'll go to them if it's a group of people I enjoy. Connor says, all my teams are doing well, and this has been my year. My Cowboys play later today. I'm excited. Yeah, I'll be watching that game, too. I'm a Cowboys fan, too. They better win tonight. I mean, Indianapolis is on tough times. Can't afford to drop any of these games that they are certainly the superior roster. Oh, Lick says, I don't know, probably getting blackout drunk. It is Zakia? Okay. I try to do the best I can. I hate mispronouncing people's names. And Kaiser says, I'm going to be hanging with a friend I haven't seen since COVID began. Going to see Avatar 2. Ah, very cool. That's a cool plan. That's nice, to reconnect. We still got to watch. We keep planning to do it, and something comes up all the time. My wife and I want to watch the, I'm going to ask if any of you guys have seen it, what you thought. That new Christmas Story movie, the sequel there, where Ralphie's all grown up and everything. I mean, it streams. I've got the streaming service. We just haven't had the time to do it. Any guys see that one? Is it good? Oh, the beat down the Cowboys put on the Vikings. That was, I mean, and again today. Listen, the Vikings got a great record. What are they? 10-2 now? Awesome. But they just skate by so often. Today, same thing. If the Jets could have made a play on any one of those last two drives, they lose. But it just seems like things always work out for them. Big Green says, sounds good, Licks. The new MHA episode, my friend and hanging out with my cats. Oh, that's cool, Morgan. That's very cool. Jill says, Curtis, I want to buy my dad a gift and he likes power tools. Any suggestions? It's hard to say, Jill, because I don't know, I don't know, A, what he has, and B, what type of work he likes doing. Like, for instance, me, excuse me, like me, one of the reasons I would only rent when we moved is I don't want to do home maintenance anymore. But when I did, for instance, plumbing and electrical I can do. Carpentry I cannot. I'm terrible at it. So I don't know, what to give you for advice because I don't know what areas he wants to delve into. Chrome says, wait, you don't mean that god-awful TV special one? Well, I think there was another. No, this is a new one. They just came out with, I think it just premiered a couple weeks ago, Chrome. I forgot which one. I have to look it up again. One of the streaming services, Paramount or one of them. And it's Ralphie all grown up and everything. I think the one, I believe anyway, the one you're talking about, I think that came out some time ago. I never saw it. Jeff says the Beagles just passed on an easy field goal attempt. By Beagles, you mean Eagles? The Eagles game is over. The Eagles romped again. Oh, Bengals. Okay, some people call the Eagles the Beagles. The Bengals did? Last I saw, the Bengals were up like 14-3 already on Kansas City. Kaiser says, spoiler, she's a girl who's my friend, but she's not my girlfriend. Not joking, she turned me down. Ah, bummer. Oh, yeah. The Pats and Jets game was so boring, I almost fell asleep. That was a rough one to watch. It was. Yeah, I think what you're saying. The Ravens game today was a snoozer too. Bengals are doing good. They're getting a little bit scary now, Connor. They're hitting their stride. Now they got what's the kid's name? The big receiver there. Jamar Chase. They got Jamar back, and that makes a big difference. Lick says, I went to Glastonbury last weekend for the Christmas market. I hated it. It's full of hippies and pagans, but I needed presents, so I sucked it up. Hippies and pagans. I like that, Licks. Hernie says, I bottled my wine a while back, so we will have plenty to drink over Christmas. Oh, that's cool. All right. It's funny you say, I know he misspelled Big Green. He wrote Bengals instead of Bengals. And it's funny, too, because was it today? I think it was today. I just saw a TikTok from Susanna Hoffs, who, of course, was the lead singer of the Bengals. And apparently, she now has I don't think I have it saved. Not that it matters. She now has some new music coming out. Haven't heard from her in decades. Nolan says, I'm from northern Kentucky, so the Bengals are the closest thing I have to a local pro team. Never thought I'd live to see them stop sucking floppy donkey cock. Well, I'll tell you, they're strong now, Nolan. Freaking Burrow's a good quarterback. And they were, stumbling all over themselves in the first early part of the season, but they're hitting the stride now. If they kick Kansas City's ass again, that says a lot, because Kansas City's, they're elite. Connor says, who do you think Super Bowl or too early? Well, it's never too early to make a guess. It's tough. AFC, I'd give a slight edge, even though they haven't played real well. I think when they get a little healthier, I'm still giving a slight edge to the Bills. NFC, I have a bias because, I root for the Cowboys. And the NFC is such a toss-up, you can pick anybody. You know what I'm saying? Of the top teams. There's really nobody, because again, the Bengals. The Bengals. Yep. uh, the Eagles are obviously the front runners, but I don't. We're going to find out soon because the Cowboys will play them, and this time they'll have Dak, hopefully, unless he gets hurt again. So we'll find out who takes the cake there. But really, any one of the teams. Again, I pick Cowboys just because they're my team. It could be Eagles, could be Cowboys, could be Niners. There's a lot of teams that have a legit shot for in the NFC. Chrome says, by the way, some good announcements you may want to see just came out. Konosuba's spin-off series about Megumin's school days starts in April. They just released the proper trailer. Oh, that's cool. That's cool. Good old Megumin. It's always amazed me how popular Megumin is. I mean, I like the character. She wasn't one of my favorites in the series, but I liked her. She's wildly popular. Elijah says, we're hosting Christmas this year because how do you pronounce Mamanon? My grandma has Alzheimer's. Oh, I'm not doing too good. Sorry to hear that. That's too bad. We the woman we provided care for all those years, Susie, you've heard me talk about her. She had Alzheimer's, and it's tough to watch. Philip says, hey, Curtis. Hey, Philip. I've got projects due for college, but it's been forever since I was able to catch one of your streams. Well, I haven't been streaming hardly at all, pal. With the new... This is why I'm streaming at such an odd day and time, just because whenever I get a chance, I like to stream and just hang out with you guys. But with the new schedule, with the stuff I've been posting at the YouTube channel now, it just takes... My days are just packed full. And especially with... going up to New York for the holidays. So this whole month, every day I'm doing extra videos, significant numbers of extra videos to have everything set for when I'm gone, so the Goosh, the Patreon videos keep going up. The videos will keep going up here at the YouTube channel and everything. Johnny says, as a UCLA fan, seeing Utah fuck USC with their big Mormon cocks was fun. Well put, Johnny. That was a beating. That was an ass whooping. It finally caught up with the lack of defense entirely. Finally caught up with USC, and I'm glad somebody did it. My Irish were a quarterback away from being able to do it. Even though he played much better in that game, it was still his key mistakes that changed the game. That fumble was just terrible. And then that bad interception, that you can't overcome that. Another Avatar. Oh, there's, what is it, guys? 4 more, right? They were shooting all the Avatar sequels basically at the same time. It was either three more or 4 more. Somebody will know for sure. There's a bunch of Avatar movies coming. Till the End of Time says going to Houston to see my uncle and go to see my grandfather on my father's side for the first time. Oh, that's cool. That's really cool. Getting to meet some family. Jill says, are you planning to watch the Game Awards this Thursday? I plan to watch it with my darling niece because she started to like games too. I probably won't get to it, Jill. I wouldn't mind seeing it. I probably won't get to it, though. 4 more, is it, Lix? I couldn't remember. I thought it was 4. Philip says, honestly, none of the... Oh, excuse me, guys. Konosuba girls are hot enough to be worth the crazy that comes with them. Aqua's annoying. Megumin's got the body of a 13-year-old, and Darkness as well. Darkness. Actually, my wife in that series, I always forget her name, is the bartender. Or the one who gives bartender. She's the one who gives the missions there. I like her. Hey, Rigid Rat. And Garrett says, just seeing my families and preparing for my 2nd annual holiday gaming marathon. Yeah. Gaming marathons. Okay, Chrome says James Cameron is making 5 Avatar films, and 2 needs to make at least $2 billion to be profitable, according to Cameron. Wow. Also, he's gone kooky and said testosterone is a poison needing flushed. Cameron says this? Testosterone is a poison? What is with all these people in the spotlight, whether they're politicians or actors or losing their fucking minds? What the fuck is he even talking about? Jesus Christ. Rick says, you weebs and your fictional women. Thanks, Morgan. Yeah, we went past 300,000. I should have made a video about that. I should have, I didn't even think of that. I should have made a video expressing to you guys that apparently 300 is my current magic number, and it has nothing to do with bowling or anything, because we hit 300,000 subscribers, and a few days later, I had a doctor's appointment, and for the first time in my life, I weighed in at 300.2 pounds. So 300 is my number, apparently. Guess fame drives you crazy. Yeah, really, Ernie. Well, what kind of bizarre bullshit is that about testosterone? Tsunami says, what's your take on the Zach Wilson situation? He should learn to take accountability. Oh, yeah. That was horrible, Tsunami. That was terrible. And especially, it would be bad enough if he wasn't at fault, but being the quarterback wasn't willing to step up and take the bullet anyway. But he was at fault and wouldn't take the bullet. He played like dog shit. He played horrible. That's a good way to immediately lose your whole locker. And I think that's why he lost his job. I mean, what the fuck? Did you take any responsibility for all that you put on the defense with your play? No. Yeah, because you suck, dude. Alexa's not going to lie. I want to watch it, even if it looks pretty, even though I know nobody will want to watch it with me. Darkness Solus says, I watched you back when you reacted to Naruto, but I kind of fell off the channel. I'm just glad you're still doing okay. Yeah, we're going to do, I appreciate that. I was going to bring Naruto back, but there was just no interest in it. Just because I want to rewatch it anyway. And I figured if I was going to, hey, it'd be fun to rewatch it all together, but nobody cared. Oh, Crone says, here's a statement. This has got to be Cameron. All right, let me see. Hold on, guys. I'm just going to check what Chrome sent us here. Most dangerous statement I've ever seen. Put aside the masculine side effects. Unhealthy and depressed. Career-wise, just you take as a wild testosterone poison young man. Oh my God, James. I just don't believe for a second that James Cameron has ever had too much testosterone. I think James Cameron is a pussy, so. Till the End of Time says, how do you feel about Kanye's praise for Hitler? As you would expect. I think he's lost. I just think Kanye's lost his mind. I really do. Johnny says Zach Wilson is the type of person that thinks taking accountability is a weakness, but it's not. It's definitely, it's absolutely a strength. I don't even know, Johnny, if he sees it as a weakness or if he's just that weak a character. He's just, I wouldn't want him on my team after that. Again, you're talking a guy with marginal at best abilities, and at the quarterback position and entirely unwilling to be anything of a team leader. I wouldn't want him. I wouldn't want him around. Bowman says maybe he's eating too much food that promotes testosterone. I don't know what that's a bizarre statement. Testosterone is a toxin. He's just, you got to figure what it is. He's just trying to make points with the overwoke echo chambers. Maybe that was his veiled way of saying, hey, toxic masculinity, I'm against it, that type of thing. I don't know. But he's just stupid. Extra Baked, that's a good name. Extra Baked Beans. Hi, Curtis. I've been watching your video. Just reading that name might make me fart. I was going to fart anyway. I've been watching your videos for a couple of years now, and you're easily the most entertaining reactor on the whole platform. Keep up the good work. Thanks. That's very kind of you to say. I appreciate that. Thank you. Nolan says 300.2 is what I expect to weigh after Christmas. I'm currently 163. 163. Trying to think, Nolan, when I would have been 163. Probably around... maybe 5th grade would have been the last time I saw 163. Thanks, Ruthie. Ruthie says, congrats on 300K subscribers. and on 3 1/4. So you got me beat. Damn it. I can't win at anything. Rick says, I dispensed my masculine toxins all over your mum last night. Oh, were they, Jeff? I didn't see that. Jeff says people were chanting it's called soccer at the World Cup. Oh, shit. Well, you guys are the ones who told me, I don't remember who exactly, but you guys are the ones who told me that soccer isn't actually an American term, that the Brits, right? British people coined it. Chrome says, I'm not a big Cameron fan. Jeez. I'm not a big Cameron fan. His films are just average to me, plus he plagiarizes a lot. He stole the opening of Terminator 2 from a TV film and was sued for it, now claims it's an homage. Yeah, everything's an homage once you get sued. Yeah, I can say I'm not a huge Cameron fan. I like Titanic. I thought it was good. I don't think it was worth all the attention it got. I mean, I think it was that great. Terminator movie. See, now I like the Terminator movies. But again, that I guess it's where you're saying. I've seen a lot of his films that I like, enjoyed, but nothing to me that is like top shelf. And now that BTG's been sponsoring the Sarah Connor Chronicles over at the Goosh, I actually like the Sarah Connor Chronicles better than the Terminator movies. Kaiser says, apart from Avatar 2, I'm keeping up on following Spy X Family Season 2. Oh, such a good show. Urusei Yatsura, 2022, Chrome's right into that one, and the latest Precure. At the moment, I'm reading Getter Robo's manga for the second time. Cool. Noob says, what happened to Spaz Kid? Haven't watched in a couple years. He just graduated college last June, and right now he's in New York. He's not where we used to live in New York. He's further south, but he's still in New York at the moment. Excuse me. Gabe says, we wrote letters to a kid with cancer. My letter read, it's a bumpy road, but soon you will have a straight path. People didn't realize it was meant for his heart monitor. Gabe. Happy holidays. Terminator 2 is legendary. I agree, Big Green. I enjoyed all the Terminator movies. I love the Sarah Connor Chronicles. I just really, really like the way that's written. Chrome says, we'll get back to Urusei Yatsura eventually, either by vote or force of will. Bots. We'll see it all on the Goosh. That's right. We'll have, won't be too awful long. We'll be doing nominations and polls again, right? Because as soon as we get towards the end of, think of what you're saying. Oh my gosh. I can't even think where I am with the shows. As soon as we get done with Dungeon, Dungeon is at that level. As soon as we start to get close to the end of Dungeon, then I'll start posting the nominations thread. Nolan says, speaking of tests, how about that Liver King guy? Started his own fad called the Ancestral Lifestyle, sold people on eating raw liver and testicles, just got exposed as a roid user scammer. Yeah, the thing of it is, Nolan, that was not a surprise at all. Just being involved in the things I've been involved with forever. The good example would be, back in the day, don't see him much anymore, it's not as popular, ESPN used to carry a lot of bodybuilding contests. And I told my wife, you show me 2-3 competitors in any of these contests, and I'll immediately tell you the ones that are tested as opposed to the ones that are untested. Because steroids allow you to work out so much and recover so quickly, you can make gains that it doesn't matter who you are, a natural human being can't make. And that Liver King was one of them. The first videos I saw of him, it was talking about the natural lifestyle. I was like, oh, fuck you, you're fucking lying. And he had all the red skin and everything, and the blotches. He was obviously juiced out of his mind. Dungeon, very creative. Yeah, I'm making an anime called Cave. Big Green says, nobody is going to sell me on eating testicles. That's gay. Oh, your birthday's around the end of January, Chrome? Yeah, so it's My stepdaughters. My older stepdaughter. She's January 30. Tsunami says, the only Cameron movie I like is Aliens. It's nowhere near the masterpiece that Alien is, but it's still phenomenal. I've forgotten about them. Those were good. Those are not. Those wouldn't be as high on my Cameron list, but those were good. Yeah, Darkness says all you got to do is ask Arnold Schwarzenegger. Yeah, I mean, it was so obvious the guy was on juice. There are certain, you can only get so big naturally. It's just the way it is. Oh wow, Morgan says my aunt is January 30th too. I just saw her today for the first time in a while. That's cool. Rigid Rat says steroids also shrink your willy and give you a case of back broccoli. Yeah, they can. And that's the thing about steroids. They're a real crapshoot because there are people who can take steroids for years and have no ill effects. And then there are others who'll get on them and in a few months they can die of a heart attack or kidney failure or something. I mean, they're a real crapshoot. Connor says, if you want some stupid drama, the drama between... Oh, I lost you, Connor. Oh, between Sneeko and Moist Critical was insanely funny to me. Oh, I didn't know there was any drama there. Charlie was into drama with somebody? I don't know the Sneeko. I didn't even know about that one. Shiko says, I'm just waiting for the Solo Leveling anime adaptation. And Big Green says, I'm just catching up with my animes. Finished Bastard. Oh, that's fun. Bastard Heavy Metal. Dark Fantasy. And caught up with Spy X Family. Gonna watch Pop Team Epic Season 2 and the new JoJo episode. Oh, I know, I gotta get to the JoJo episodes. I know. JoJo's so freaking good. Yeah, that Bastard is fun. That's a fun show, too. We're getting sponsored over at the Goose. Says, shout out to that new Predator movie from last year where the Predators try to weaponize a 10-year-old boy's autism. Jesus. That's terrible. And Gabe says you have to have real balls to face prostate cancer, just not for long. Chrome says, okay, even hotter take. I think Aliens destroyed the franchise. Everything people hate about the later films is because of Aliens. Also, Cameron spits on the original Alien film because sexism. What is it with the races to wokeism everywhere anymore? Jesus Christ. The Chiefs have taken the lead, Jeff. Wow, that was a big turnaround that game in a hurry. Because when I came upstairs here to start setting up for the stream, they were up 14-3. Holy shit. That might end up being a real good game. Barn burner right down to the wire. Caught up on Chainsaw Man, Connor? I'm surprised. Well, I still think the fact that things like Chainsaw Man and Bleach did not do that well at the YouTube channel is more YouTube fuckery. And I'll tell you why. We know that notifications are just hit and miss. But I know for a fact of our 300,000 subscribers, huge swaths of them came in while we were watching things like Naruto and what other series did we do on YouTube? And while we were doing the Dragon Ball clips and the Abridged series, I know there's a ton of anime fans within that group, but because we've been doing different things recently, as soon as the video goes live, YouTube only recommends it to those that have been watching the current stuff. So if they're not as in tune with something new and different, which in this case would be the anime, they don't continue sending notifications. And they deny that they do that, but trust me, that's how they do it. Oh, Willie, don't say that. He says, my plan is to be alone and sad. We don't want you to be sad. I won't be home. I was going to say I could try and stream a little on Christmas Day, but it's hard when I'm not at home. Oh, Nolan says Sneeko is another Andrew Tate type. If you don't have 50 BMWs and aren't fucking 30 random whores per night, you're a failure. Shows happy pic of Charlie and his girlfriend. Look at this monogamous loser. This is what the Sneeko did? Oh, Jesus Christ. There's so many losers out there. It, well, I think it's because a lot of times, too, it's so many young people that don't know how to handle any type of success. And then they achieve some success on YouTube that turns a lot of people into just douchebags. Oh, yeah. AK Gaming says, I remember watching you react to Filthy Frank vids. Oh, that was a cool era. Papa Franco he's a deserving legend. Seahawks up 17-13. I like him in that game. They're playing, who would have thought, with Geno at quarterback and everything? They're playing good. Sneeko also defended cuties. Ooh, some kind of creeper groomer thing, is he? Jesus Christ. Excuse me. Chrome says, like, literally, the last Predator film, not Prey, made it so the predators literally go out into the universe to hunt autism to inject into themselves. Sounds like a pretty stupid concept. Jesus. Oh, my God. Oh, man. Yeah, Big Green says, how can anybody defend cuties? That's fucked up. That was just disturbing. Was it, who was it that, it was South Park, right? That did the great satire of those things? Yeah, I think so, because they had Ike competing as a little girl in one of those things for whatever reason. I don't remember the parameters around it. And there's 3 judges, 2 dudes and a chick, and both the dudes are like jacking it, jacking it as hard as they can the whole time that these girls are performing and stuff. It's like, yeah, that's about the size of it right there. Connor says Sneeko is really a pathetic person, and for the fact he went after Charlie was stupid, and he brought up his girlfriend was even worse. Yeah, again, it's just there's so many losers out there that, and it's not as rampant now. There was a time where the way to try and get big on YouTube was just to try and be an asshole to people who are already doing well on YouTube. And if that's the route you need to take, you're fucking garbage. You just are. Simply because that means you don't have any talent. You don't have anything to offer. So you just try and hang off somebody else's dick to get a few subscribers. Do any songs make you cry? Shelby says, yeah, there's some songs that trigger strong emotions for me. Yeah, absolutely. I don't know. I don't know which ones are the most emotional. I have to think about it a little. Connor says, well, I just always have a thing. You don't bring family into YouTube drama. Well, you shouldn't bring family that isn't involved into any type of drama. But again, people are desperate for attention. That's what it typically amounts to. Zyper says, my headphones died and you look great. Peace sign if I have been hurt. Oh, well. That's good. Hey, Wolf says, what is up? You and the family are doing good. Oh, we're doing great. Hope you are too. Yeah, doing good. My wife's downstairs knee deep in all. I just brought all the Christmas stuff down from the attic area there, and she's wading through it now, putting all the Christmas stuff away. Ruthie says, to respond to the cuties question, I have no idea how the hell anyone would defend that movie. Yeah, that was really bothersome, really disturbing. That really bothered me. That whole I couldn't watch it. I just saw the clips of it, and that was enough for me. I can't even deal with it. I get too pissed off. Excuse me. Chrome says, honestly, the more I find out about cuties, the worse it gets. We found out fairly recently that the actors did closed-door casting couch stuff involving lap dances like things. Yeah, there should be a lot of people in jail over cuties. Connor says, I think Andrew Tate and those type of people are absolutely pathetic, and I hate them all. Sorry, just my thoughts. No, don't apologize. That's a fair thought. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, they were all minors, Ruthie. It was just, again, when it became a thing, there were all kinds of clips of it on social media and stuff. And as soon as I saw some of those clips, that that's one of the things. Well, you guys know. I mean, I being a father and grandfather is the cornerstone of my life, and protecting kids is like the most important thing I think for adults to do. And when I see things like that, it infuriates me. I can't watch it. Let's see. What do you call a censor with autism? A censor spaz? Rick says, sometimes I think that the Hollywood pedos aren't even trying to hide it. Seems like it. Like they'll make movies which are essentially big neon signs reading "We are pedos" to see if they can get away with it. It's frightening. I mean, well, look at recently, guys. Just in recent years, how many you've had these different groups coming out trying to get legitimized because they're attracted to children. What was that one group? MAP or whatever the hell they called themselves, and wanting to be taken seriously. That it's actually, it's a part of who they are, and it's natural. And it's like, again, we're on YouTube. I have to watch what I was going to say, but as I had told you guys before, yes, that's bad, but an entirely unrelated topic. I saw that the local farm store near me has wood chippers on sale. I just thought you guys would want to know, because wood chippers will, if for anybody that doesn't know what a wood chipper will do, if you put something in it, it'll grind it up into a fine little paste. Totally unrelated from the pedos and the cuties thing. Just thought I'd bring that up in case any of you are looking for a wood chipper. Fuck maps, yeah. Yeah, it's terrifying to think that they're given they should receive nothing but derision or worse. Johnny says wood chippers are cool. As he wants says, I'll buy a wood chipper even if it's not on sale. Yep, you guys get what I'm saying. Chrome says, okay, so on brighter news not involving that, any thoughts on Elon talking about basically turning Twitter into a YouTube competitor and an all-around social media site? It's not a bad idea. I don't know if he can succeed with it, but it's not a bad idea. I don't know. We'll see what he does. With him running it, I tend to gravitate more towards it. We might be able to try something on there. We'll see how it goes. Maybe sometime we'll try to run a stream there or something. Just see how it does. It kind of says, "Let's go wood chippers." That should be a sports team name. The wood chippers. Makes sense to me. Wolf says it's going good, just doing my best, living depression and anxiety. Watching your video, especially y'all DBZA video, have helped me keep up the great content. Well, thanks, Wolf. And I hope things get better for you. Hope things look up for you. Excuse me. Gabe says, I'm not doing much on the holidays. Just going to be waking up at like 6 in the morning, have family over and open presents while struggling to collect all the wrapping paper. Yeah. Oh, for years and years. Yeah, when we had all the kids at home and everything. Yep. Chrome says, that reminds me of something else as well. Since Musk took over Twitter, they're finally cleansing the site of maps. They've removed over 40,000 accounts now. Twitter ex-employees are actually mad. That don't surprise me from Twitter ex-employees. Elon Zyper says Elon Musk sent rockets to space but can't handle Twitter BS. I'm not sure what you mean, pal. What do you mean I can't handle Twitter BS? I mean, seems to be doing okay on Twitter. Lick says, fun fact, the maps made a map pride flag and it looks like bacon. So we've hijacked it and turned it into the people who like bacon flag. Nice. Jill says, Elon's Twitter is becoming the most trusted news source in the corporate media. Is pissed. Yeah, they are. And see, the thing is, I'm never one to, you guys know that, I'm never one to blindly follow anybody. And it's one of the reasons I'm an independent politically, because I don't go down the line with anyone. But I agree with Elon Musk on a significant number of issues. I agree with a lot of his platitudes and the way he does things. So, yes, it does actually. I have actually been on Twitter a little more than I used to, and I may even start posting things there again. Other than just like I do now, just posting when we've posted a video or something. San Francisco's up 2010 on Miami. I'm going to watch the end of that one. Yeah, the open-mindedness thing. I know what you mean, Z1. Fuck them. Fuck all of them. Anybody that would, I don't give a shit what you have actually done. If you have an attraction to children, you are a fucking problem. Period. Chrome says, like, they're mad for two reasons. They're claiming they always had these systems to deal with them. They just chose not to implement them. And they're also mad he removed the safety council. Twitter was garbage. It was just a hot mess. That's why I barely ever used it. Nolan says Elon Musk doesn't ban people just for saying things he doesn't like. Woke mob, that's fascism. Yeah. Proving once again that the people who always cry fascism have no idea what the word means. That's the bugaboo word. It went from Nazi more now to fascist. Now everything is fascist. Whatever it is, whatever you say that doesn't fall in line with someone's political ideology. Whatever it could be. It'd be like, gee, I like Cool Whip better than whipped cream. Oh, whipped cream is far superior, you fucking fascist. That's about what the word means anymore. They take away the meaning of their words because they just spread them way too thin. And they spread them to areas they don't belong. Connor says, I also dislike people who say if you watch adult movies / content, you'll turn into a predator. I don't believe that. No, of course not. I mean, it's that comes back, Connor, to the same thing I've always said. Like, when there's any type of tragedy, a school shooting or whatever, that involves a young male, immediately with the school shootings, it's, well, he was known to be an avid Call of Duty player. That means nothing. You have to look at the bigger picture. How many millions of young men in that demographic play Call of Duty? It's the vast majority of them. So the fact that this school shooter happened to play Call of Duty means nothing as far as his impetus for doing that. And that's the same thing that we're talking about there. If somebody does something perverted in real life and you find out they watch porn, it's like, oh, there's why. Well, no, you have to take into account how many people in that demographic watch porn. 80%? If it's actual figures. And the thing is, you'll never know because most people won't admit to it. Me, I'll admit to anything. I don't give a shit. I don't care what people think. All the porn I watch is legal porn, so what the hell do I have to hide? People talk about that all the time too. Well, or they'll talk about having to make sure that they're erasing their history. I don't erase my history. You can take my internet history and use it as recommendations. Maybe you like the same stuff I do. I don't give a shit. That's it 100%, Shelby. I guess it's easier to blame music and video games rather than address the root of the issue. Yes. Chrome says, what's it with faux intellectuals and being pedos? There was a group called the Finders during the Satanic Panic scare who did the exact same thing. Funnily enough, the CIA admitted they made them. Really? I didn't know about that one. Big Green says, you can't say that though, Curtis. What are you, a Nazi? and you're onto it. That's what it is. It becomes, anybody that disagrees with me has to be this catchword of the week or month. Connor says, I plan on going into the porn industry and my girlfriend fully supports me. I could go into the porn industry. It would just have to be as the comedy relief guy. Hey, Gimster says, people always tried blaming Minecraft for violence. Yeah, I mean, that's the problem in general. You can even take that to the gun debate. for me, I'm a big 2A person anyway, but I can, some gun reform I'm perfectly on board with. The problem I see with it is every time there's a shooting or anything, all of the focus is on the gun. Well, if we get rid of the guns, no. The core problem is there's a lot of people in this country and a lot of young people in this country that have zero issue with killing a lot of other people. That's the core problem. And until you start addressing both on a large scale, there's no sense in even going after the guns. Because it doesn't matter if you make certain weapons, which is always stupid to that argument. If you know what you're doing with a gun, you don't need a semi-automatic. A shotgun is good. You can do just as much damage just as easily. But neither here nor there. Until you address why we have such a high rate of violent crimes in this country, it doesn't matter what you do with gun laws because you can get them if you want them, no matter what you do. Let's see. Tsunami says, I wish All in the Family came out today. Would give the wokesters a panic attack. Oh, yeah, Tsunami. They would never dare to make that, to allow that show to be on the air. Trucks of peace are more deadly. Sure are. I don't go into details on that because, this is a public forum and everything. I'm not going to put that out there. But suffice to say, guns are not a particularly form. If you're looking to hurt a lot of people, they're not a particularly quality method. But I don't get into that. Z1 says the psycho is going to find a way to do harm regardless of having guns or not. That's true too. And again, that's still the core problem. And that's not to say that there can't be different types of gun reform. But when all you want to talk about is gun reform, it's like you're not even looking to cure the problem. You have a political agenda that you don't like guns, and you're using this as an avenue to try and take them from people. Because unless you're coming out and your stance is, okay, we need to do this with gun control, and here's what we need to start doing to try and detect and deter people from doing these things, try and take a look at what changed in our society that has young people wanting to do this. Unless you're addressing that too, you're full of shit. You just have a political agenda that you're trying to, take a tragedy and stand on the bodies of dead kids to promote, to try and get what you want. Oh yeah, I agree. I won't read that out loud, but yes, you're right. You're leaning towards the same things I'm saying. Guns are what people think of when they want to commit certain heinous acts. Fortunately, very fortunately, those people tend to not think any deeper than that and look for other alternatives. Kaiser says, I identify as a fat attracted person. Philip says, on a related note, the gun laws in Canada are getting ridiculous, I've heard. The Liberals want to ban a number of hunting rifles. Near as I can tell, their only criteria is it looks scary. That's a lot here too, Philip. It's just like the ARs. They look scary because they don't ever talk about guns that are the same caliber, are the same exact gun, but with a boring wooden stock on them, basically. Oh, and you see it all the time. Whenever you get into that debate, there's always somebody in there, they'll go, well, until we get rid of the automatic weapons, as soon as somebody says automatic weapons, you know that they have no fucking idea what they're talking about. They're just blathering on because they had the coordination to put the Twitter app on their phone and scratch out some what amounts to dribblings into a post. Because automatic weapons are, for all intents and purposes, illegal in America. You can have one if you jump through a million different hoops that prove you have a reason to have one, but they are illegal. Gabe says guns are meant for protection, but apparently these days most others use them as a way of relieving stress, making themselves look like selfish clowns. Well, relieving stress, I think, is okay if you're doing it. If you want to go down to the gun range and fire off a few rounds as a stress reliever, I don't see an issue with that. But yes, and then you'll have, just like anything else, on even though I'm a 2A proponent, people within that world that do stupid shit too. Like now it's like, oh, let me just go in and flaunt the fact that I can carry this gun, and I'm just going to walk up and down the street looking suspicious. I mean, when you got a gun strapped to your back and you're just pacing back and forth, so then you can act like you've been targeted or people are trying to trample on your rights when the cops stop you and ask what you're doing. There's no need for that. There's absolutely no reason to go out there and be performative about it. But that happens on both sides. Wolfpaw says in Texas you can own a fully functioning tank, working main gun and everything. Are you sure, Wolfpaw? I thought over certain caliber was illegal for private citizens to own federally, I thought. Kaiser says, I read All in the Family lampshaded gun violence. Did you know the largest death is from gun violence? Archie, so would you rather they were thrown out a window? Lix says, I mean, most people who argue this don't know the difference between fully and semi-automatic. You're 100% right, Lix. They know nothing. They just see the word automatic and throw a fit. That's why they don't care when it's a manual. Yeah, you're 100% right, Lix. And in gun violence, what is the scariest part of it is always going to be how astute the user of that gun is, not the gun itself. It's going to be how good they are with it. Gimster says, America, Canada, Japan, UK all have high rates of illegal, lethal, inhumane actions against one another. You just ban guns and don't find out everything that went wrong in their lives. That'll solve it. Yeah, that's exactly it, Gimster. And beyond that, you know what I've always said too? It's interesting because the argument will always be, well, other areas don't have gun violence. And people on the pro 2A side will say, well, yeah, in England it's all knives. You're looking at that from the wrong perspective because America per capita has more knife violence than England. What that says unequivocally is in America, it's not a gun problem, it's a violence problem. If we have all this gun violence and yet can still have more knife violence as well than a country where it's virtually impossible to own a gun or very unlikely to own a gun, that tells you that it's a societal issue here. We have a problem with violent people. And you never hear, at least on the main line, anybody talking about what to do about the violent people. The conversation is always what to do about the weapon they chose to use for their violence. Wick says we don't have gun violence, we have London violence. That's the real scary shit. There was a school shooting in Russia a few months ago. Was there, Wolfpaw? I didn't see that one. I didn't see that. All right, guys. Well, I got to go. Oh, guys, thank you for hanging out with me. This was so good. Again, I just had a few minutes here on a Sunday, and this is how I'm going to have to do streams until after the holidays when the schedule really eases up. Whenever I've got a little bit of time, I'll definitely pop in to hang out with you guys. So, I don't have any idea where and when that'll be, but I'll do my best to hit these streams every so often because I love just hanging out and talking, just like today. I mean, we start talking about what everybody's going to do for the holidays. We cover that, and then we get into something just as interesting. I just love the way the conversations go here. But guys, yeah, thanks for hanging out with me. Thanks for always being here with me. You just make me feel so good. And these conversations, I just never get tired of them. But I'll do this as often as I can. Wherever I can find a spot, I'll pop in with a stream. I'll pop in. And didn't I say hang out earlier in this description too? I'm making a lot of Freudian references. Yeah, maybe I'm gonna go walk through the market again and see if it's still illegal to walk through the frozen foods section and see how much shrinkage you have. It's just a scientific thing. I was just trying to see how if it would actually disappear. And it's like, oh, you can't have your dick out in the frozen food section. So maybe I'll look into that. Maybe those rules have changed. All right, guys, I'll talk to you real soon. Thanks for hanging out with me.